Take a girl and a guy, and they fall madly in love and form a family. Sprinkle in some counseling degrees and a doctorate, a dream of transforming relationships as we know it. And 20 years later, we give you power couple Dr. Ray and Jean Kadkodian. And this is their podcast, Couples Synergy.
Welcome back to another episode of Couples Synergy with Dr. Ray and Jean. Hi, I'm Dr. Ray.
And I'm Jean, and this is our podcast about love, marriage, and relationships.
Please check us out online at couplesynergy.com or on Facebook and Instagram at Couples Synergy. And please subscribe to our podcast and please leave us a review. Or send us any suggestions on topics you'd like to hear more about. And now on to Couples Synergy, an in-depth look at love, marriage, and relationships, where we bring you our experience helping thousands of couples transform their relationships for over 20 years.
You know, everyone says you should work on your relationship, but nobody teaches us how. So we've created this podcast to teach people what they can do to create the relationship they've always dreamed of.
With the partner they fell in love with. On today's episode, we are talking about time.
Yes.
Time.
And, you know, I just wanted to say.
Yeah.
That, you know, tomorrow's your birthday.
It's about time.
It's where we're marking your time. And that...
well, as this episode is coming out, my birthday would have passed, right?
Yeah.
It's the 20th. August 20th.
August 20th.
And
go wish him a happy birthday on our Facebook page. That'd be fun.
This time around, it's 50 years.
Yeah, big 5-0.
Oh.
So I just wanted...
I don't feel 50.
I just wanted to take this time.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
And let you know.
How many times can we use the word time as a pun?
It's like a drinking game. If you hear us say time, sip your wine.
Oh, it rhymes.
That I've enjoyed spending 25 years of time with you.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. We are celebrating our 25th anniversary this coming Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And, you know, we're
so old.
Helped you accomplish two of your goals, which is climb Mount Lamborn.
Yep.
And climb a 14,000-foot peak.
It's our first official 14er.
Yep.
And that was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so
glad.
I
did the 1,000-mile hike for my birthday, and you did the 14er, which is awesome. And one of the things that happens if you guys have ever hiked a mountain is often you have to go down to get up and up to get down. And
which is very frustrating.
Really frustrating. And it is so very much like a relationship. And over the past 25 years, you and I have had our ups and our downs.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel like we are living the life of creating the relationship we've always dreamed of. And I just wanted to say I love you and love spending time with you.
Oh, thank you, honey. I agree.
Even when I'm in so much pain, I yell at you. Those would be the down times.
It's never my fault, though.
No, it's usually not.
No.
So how do we use the word time? You know, there's so many different references. Good time, bad time, precious time, not the right time, all the time in the world, time out, plenty of time, too much time, make some time.
Quality time.
Quality time.
That's that one.
Time stands still, out of time, wasted time, stolen time. But the one we hear the most often is, I'm too busy. There is no time.
Yeah. Not enough time.
And it's often in relationship to your relationship.
Always.
Yeah.
I would say always.
Yeah, we make time for everything else in our relationships. That is the number one thing that it's not what people say. People don't realize that they don't spend time.
Mm-hmm.
When we ask them and they look at each other and they say, we don't spend any time together. Not alone, not quality, not good.
Well, I got a text from one of our previous clients.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he and his wife are going through something really difficult, really challenging right now. And they are not spending the time to process it. They're not spending the time to heal and to grieve. And I said, anytime a couple goes through something challenging or a trauma they need to spend that time together to readjust, because it is those times, I keep using the word, that can set back a couple.
You know, when someone passes, especially when someone passes unexpectedly, time stands still, and we push everything out of the way, and we take the time we need to grieve. And typically when someone passes, they've reached many different people during their life, many different types of relationships. And sometimes people from high school will show up, or people from a job that they haven't worked at in 20 years, or, you know, cousins you haven't seen in a long time, or siblings that don't live near each other. And we know how important it is when we go through something big to take the time. And we wouldn't even think any less of it. But when it's something that happens to a couple, then the only person that reminds you of that pain is your partner.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is so easy and comfortable to just talk about who's picking up who, where, and what time is this, and just continue diving right back into your life and not give yourself the time to heal and to, you know, process everything that's happened. Because it feels like crap.
Yeah, it's much easier just to fill up that space, the void, with busy work, right? Busyness, stuff to do. You know why? I think it's because you feel accomplished then. You're doing something.
It feels better than grieving.
It feels better than just sitting in it, whatever that painful situation is. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it.
Mostly there's
just
nothing.
Experience.
Mostly there's nothing.
Right.
Anything that has to do with depth and quality in a relationship has nothing to do with anything you can do about it. It's already over. It's about what do we do now, and how do we heal,
and what are we
there.
supposed to learn from it.
Yep, and witness for each other and comfort each other. And, you know, we've talked about this before about how when we're in pain, the first person you're going to turn on is your partner.
Yep.
And, you know, I can give you guys a great example of that on our hike on Sunday, which we thought was about 8 miles and turned into 12.
It was 11.
11 something.
11 miles, but... Yeah.
And I certainly didn't have it in me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I ranted for about 30 minutes about how it was your fault.
Yeah. Well, I kind of dished it back too, so, you know.
But that's what happens, right? It's that you're in so much pain and you're trying so hard to get something done. And at that point, it had gotten dark. It was getting a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
The hail ride back to the truck wasn't so great either.
On the ATV being pelted with hail. Yeah, that was not fun. In the dark, yeah.
And
Thunderstorms.
So it's a really natural thing we do because our partner is the person who can take it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm certainly not going to call up on the phone and call a friend and be like, can you believe that I'm in a lot of pain on this mountain and it's your fault? They're not going to buy it anyways.
They're going to think that you're drunk or something.
Right.
I mean, that's just weird. You wouldn't do that,
Right.
But naturally, that's what we do with our partners. We just turn on them because the frustration within is something we need to get out of ourselves, and we dish it out onto our partner.
One of the greatest commodities we have as human beings is our time. Because really, one day we're going to all be out of time. And the term wasted time, you don't want to get to that point and go, man,
I wasted my time.
I wasted so much time doing all this other stuff and not doing what was important. And the thing that we give the least amount of important time to is our partner, our partnership, our relationship. And that is the most satisfying thing we have. And that is where your greatest regret is going to be. And if you are going through something traumatic and you aren't spending time together, that'll kill a relationship. But if you are not going through something traumatic and you're just going through life and not spending time together, that'll slowly erode the relationship.
Well, I've said it before, and that is that during lockdown for COVID, I think that we had an opportunity to learn something. We couldn't do anything. There was nothing that could be done. We just all had to sit and quote unquote shelter in place. But we had now this opportunity of time.
Because we didn't have to commute.
We
didn't have to socialize.
Right.
We
right?
didn't go out for dinner.
For many people, they couldn't even work.
Right.
So you're just staring at your partner and you're staring at your family members. And what do? You can't go out for dinner. You can't go out bowling. You can't go out
Nope.
and do anything. So how do you pass the time?
Pass the time.
Yeah, that's another
Oh, I
one.
like
How
it.
do you pass the time? And that was the opportunity there, really, is to focus on what is really important in the moment. And I think some people learned the lesson.
Some people did really well.
Some people learned the lesson and they made such huge shifts in their life.
And some went the other way.
And some people went the other way. And they just, coming out of it, put their nose to the grindstone and buried themselves even more. And now let's take a little break to tell you a little bit more about our home study course called Relationship 101.
One of our passions is really to bring this work to everybody. And a lot of times what we hear is one person in the relationship is wanting to work on it, the other one is not. And so this is a great way for you guys to get a taste of what it is like to work on your relationship in a fun 8-date night video series to learn what you need to learn.
Yeah, Relationship 101 consists of 8 video modules, typically about 30 to 40 minutes long, with some discussion questions and exercises for couples to do together at the end. This is kind of a culmination of our work over 20 years and synthesizing all of the skills and tools necessary to create an amazing relationship. This online course consists of 8 modules, which is 5+ hours of course content. It also includes bonus resources, all designed to learn and grow together as a couple.
It's fun, it's insightful, and gives you a great excuse to spend some extra quality time with your partner.
All of this course content is valued at over $850. Currently now it is priced at $387. And if you just go to go.couplesynergymethod.com/relationship101, it'll take you directly to the link. That's go.couplesynergymethod.com/relationship101.
And if you're a single person, you can still benefit from it. We hear it all the time that people don't have any time.
Yeah.
And they go, well, I have kids. You wouldn't understand. You don't have kids. And I always have the trump card because my mom had 9 kids. My mom and my dad together.
Right.
Not just my mom. And they did do date night. They did have couples they went on long weekends with. They traveled without us. And one of the problems we're seeing in our kids is we're giving so much time to our kids that they're not becoming autonomous people. They're not becoming independent. They're not problem solving appropriately. They're not self-soothing. And we're doing that work for them. And we're stealing that time from our relationship. They're sleeping in your bed.
Yeah, that's co-sleeping.
Yep.
Not a good thing.
And there's no appropriate dinner time. That's been gone. And dinner time teaches so many important things. You know, when I was a kid, you had to be sat at a certain time at the dinner table or you were in trouble. And then you had to sit and wait. And then you had to pray. And then you had to wait for my mom to make sure she was all ready because that would have been rude. And you learn how to be considerate and you learned how to be patient. And those are really important lessons kids aren't learning because people are having dinner at the TV.
Or
they're
they
eating
have
whenever.
Yeah,
they're
they have
eating
different
whatever.
work shifts, and so one person's eating at this time, the other person's eating at another time when they get home, and it just leads to perpetuating this disconnection within the family and disconnection between couples. They resort to working in shifts on the family. They work in shifts in work, and then when they come home, they work in shifts as well, and that's great. As co-parents, you guys are running a business together, but it does not work well for that intimate partnership.
Here's one of the quickest way that you could find some stolen time. And stolen time to me, I love stolen time because it's I'm supposed to go to a party. It got canceled. I got nothing planned now. Or maybe I call in sick to work and all of a sudden I have a free day. That's stolen time. Like you had something else to do and then it just went away for whatever reason. And now you got some time on your hands.
Oh, you're not talking about like, being in the bathroom and, working on your phone at the same time, right? Stolen time?
No, like double multitasking.
Multitasking.
Yeah, no. That was a terrible invention, that multitasking.
Yeah.
It's not good for any of us.
No, stolen time. I get it.
Yeah, so-
Right. You had something planned.
So if you're listening to this with your partner, because you really want to be accountable. If you're not, find your partner before you do this. And, go on your phone, open up your settings, and you'll see a thing that says health data management, something like that, which literally says your phone knows it's not healthy for you to be on it. And if you go and you look, it'll tell
funny
you
that they
how
have
long
that.
you're on your phone and what you've been doing on there. Right? So go do that and see how much time you waste and how much of your attention
I
you
think
give.
it's called for Android phones.
Okay.
Really, it's called digital well-being
Okay.
and parental controls, and that tells you your screen time.
What do you got?
I got, what do I got? 32 minutes. I got 15 minutes in texting.
And, one of the things
That's a lot of text.
is that you haven't had any time to be on your phone today. And yesterday we were off grid.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly when you look at it, you'll see 5 to 7 hours. And some of it's legitimate. Your texting today is all about logistics. You're trying to coordinate between deliveries and stuff.
Right.
But a lot of time, you will find plenty of time that you're doing something and it's not meaningful. It doesn't give anything back to you. And it just calls you constantly. I don't know if you've noticed this with my new phone. The second I put it down, it buzzes. And I don't know what's buzzing. And I go, look, and it's not, nothing's buzzing.
All of those notifications.
Yeah. Turn
those
them off.
Games and stuff.
Yeah, turn it off. I have most of my notifications off, but sometimes if I download a new game, they make you take some steps to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't do that, then
The universe, they say, the universe abhors a vacuum, meaning that if there is a space, it will fill it up. And so in your life, if you have any space or any time, work will fill it up, kids' activities will fill it up, just mindless social media, mindless being online will fill it up.
binge watching.
It will fill up that time. And so if you carve out time, you have to dedicate that.
Yep, it has to be a discipline.
Yeah.
It absolutely has to be a discipline. And you could, because healthy relationships need a minimum of
5 to 6 hours
a week.
a week of what we call face-to-face time.
Here's the best part. That is less than 30 minutes
Yeah.
a day.
Oh, yeah.
Less than 30 minutes.
Sure.
So could you imagine, try that as an experiment before you sit down and turn on the TV, or maybe at a certain point you say TV goes off. That might be easier. 10 o'clock at night, whatever. We don't go to bed till 11. 10 o'clock, let's turn it off. Let's go sit outside. That's a lovely thing to do. Or go in a different space of the house and hang out together. And no logistics and no problems. What's going on for you? What do you care about? What do you not care about?
What are you looking forward to?
Yeah.
How about that?
What do you dream about?
Yeah.
What would we want to create? If we had all the time in the world, what would we want? And then start reverse engineering that. But 30 minutes a day, that's it.
I think one of the things that really scares couples about spending that time together is that they have a fear that they're going to go into their issues. That is going to be time that they spend hashing out things and problems that they've been stashing away. And I would have to say you're right. That's a pretty legitimate fear, because if you haven't been spending time, you are collecting resentment. You are collecting all of those problems and those issues, and that's building up.
Don't they just go away if you ignore them?
Yeah. They do.
Let's just watch TV, and they're not there then.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't have to deal with it, and they just go away.
The 800-pound gorilla keeps gaining weight.
Yeah. There was a new person we started working with, and she's like, I'm really stressed in my life right now. Could my husband just do this work for a bit?
Right.
Because and it's a family issue, so it's not just and I said, well, you think you're not going to be stressed because you're not working on it? Yeah, that's how we actually get de-stressed.
Yeah.
That's how we get closer. And then when you do have a big ticket item happen in your relationship, you have invested time to draw from to help you get through those lean times. And if you don't have that, that's like hiking a mountain without eating. You're starving. At some point, you're just going to collapse.
And you don't have the energy to deal with that.
None.
You don't have the energy to
whatsoever.
solve it.
Nope. Not at all. And that's really sad because it's so easy to excuse yourself and say, I don't have the time. It's so easy to steal your quality time with your partner and give it to your work outside of hours and outside of expectations, or to friends, or to kids, or to something that feels easier. It's easier. All of those relationships are easier than your primary partnership. And why do it? That's a great question. Why put yourself through it? What's the point? And people ask us all the time about hiking mountains because it's painful and it sucks.
Well, most of them ask them, why would you do that?
Yeah. And, we were talking about that because we were at the top of that 14er.
Yeah.
And
I said, human beings are really weird, aren't we? That we're like, oh, what's that tall mountain there? Let's go climb up to the top of it and and see what we could see. That's it. For that reason. That's it.
That's it. And you're up there and you can't believe it. I mean, we're going to put some pictures on our where do we put those?
Well, if you go to our Facebook page, Couple Synergy, you will see
live
that we did a Facebook Live right from the top, of that mountain, which was really cool.
And you can't even believe what you're seeing. And those pictures or videos, it is nothing. It's the energy of it, the feel of it. Just the wind blew while we were up there, and it was like Dirt Devil, and like, what was that? Nothing's up here with us. And
well, there was this golden marmot that was up there too.
So even though it's really hard to climb a mountain, it's painful, it is hot, sweaty, all those things, it does something to you. And in one way, there's a saying that says, off to the mountains I go to lose my mind and find my soul.
Mm-hmm. You definitely lose your mind out there.
That is the same benefit you would get working on something with your partner. You're going to feel at a depth. It's going to hurt. It's going to bring old stuff up that's been sitting in there. You're going to find out what you're made of, and you are going to express your soul. And on the other side of that is a deep connection that you can't possibly imagine if you just continue to get the participation award of life.
And, most of this is about faith.
Yes.
It's about believing in something better and not knowing what that is.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to be like up there. You do it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you for taking the time to join us today on Couple Synergy to talk about time.
I really hope you find some time to be in your relationship. And good for you for taking the time to watch it. Yeah, listen now. Yeah.
Our passion is in helping couples and people have happy and healthy relationships, and this podcast gives us a fun way of bringing our knowledge and expertise to you, our listeners. For all of you listening, please let us know how you enjoyed the show. If you have any questions, comments, or topic suggestions, please email us at contact@couplesynergy.com. For more information about Couple Synergy and our programs such as Relationship 101, our home study course, the Couples Weekend Intensive, which is planned at a new venue, a beautiful lodge in Colorado, or our premier coaching program called Couple to Couple, look us up online at couplesynergy.com.
And if you know someone who could benefit from this episode, please download it and share it. And thank you for listening.
Until next time, synergize your life and synergize your love.
You have been listening to Couple Synergy with Dr. Ray and Jean Ketkodian. Couple Synergy was recorded, edited, and produced by Dr. Ray and Jean Ketkodian. Voiceover and music entitled Breathe and Let Go was recorded and composed by Gina Gonzalez.